Welcome to Joe Stunner Boxing yet again. Derek Chisora, a lot has been said about him since he got that win over Joe Joyce, about his innate toughness. There's the whole potential dementia later on in life issue, which I've covered in previous videos. But there's one thing about Derek that I think sets him apart from other very tough men. And that is his ability to fight through exhaustion. Because a lot of guys who are tough, when they become exhausted, they'll kind of look to survive. That is to say, Teddy Atlas, he once used the phrase game quitter, which sounds like a derogatory term, but that's not what he meant as far as I interpreted it. What he means is a guy fights, he's innately tough, he's proud, and when he gets to the point of absolute exhaustion, he kind of mentally has shelved the idea of winning, and it's just a case of, I'm a tough guy, I'm going to go the distance and I'm going to make it competitive. With Derek, he fights to win, even though he's completely and utterly shattered. He still fights to win. There's never any hint of survival. I mean, obviously he does survive. If you look at, say, the second Parker fight, when he was floored a couple of times and he was battered, he'd go into the corner, he'd shell up, and so yes. But if you look at a fight like that, he was still looking to try and time the opponent. He was still looking to try and gain some sort of upper hand. And with the Joyce fight, there was no better example of it than the 9th round of that fight, because he was getting the crap beaten out of him in that round. Had he not floored Joyce, that would probably have been, I think certainly would have been a 10-9 round across the board to Joyce. Instead, it was a 10-8 against him, which I think cost him the fight, if you look at the scores. Derek, even though he was on the ropes, he was swaying, he was moving, but he was on the verge of being stopped. You look at the referee. Referee was looking to almost jump in. But Derek was still thinking, come on, I can time you. And then overcomes that incredible right hand and puts Joe Joyce, who, whatever you say about him, I know he fights with his face, and his defense is his face. And down he goes, and on his back. It wasn't a flash knockdown. It was more than that. I mean, he wasn't badly hurt, but it was a legitimate knockdown, kind of reminiscent of the Carlos Takam victory that Derek had. See, that was another fight. Absolutely exhausted Derek was, getting the crap beaten out of him, swelling up on the face and everything. And he was still looking to win. He still had it in his mind, I'm gonna catch you. I'm gonna get you. That's a very rare quality in fighters. Like I say, a lot of guys, they'll shell up, they'll, try and sort of maneuver their way around, and they won't run. They'll still be throwing punches, but they're almost like "don't hurt me" punches, or I'll try and keep you busy punches. Very often, more often than not, 99 out of 100 guys at least will say, even if it's a psychologically sort of subconscious thing, they'll think, okay, I'm past the point where I can win the fight, but I'm still going to give you hell. With Derek, it's, I'm going to win this fight. I'm going to try and win this fight, And the Takam fight, certainly, and Saturdays against Joyce are perfect examples of that. And I guess you could say that that's the sign of a real fighting man. I don't want to... Again, that's a very sort of generic term, isn't it? Fighting man. Anyone who's tough and likes to scrap is a fighting man. You can get someone who's, a low-level guy, a small hall guy who's a genuine fighting man. You can also get people who've never had a boxing match who are fighting men, you know. But with Derek, he just has that rarest of qualities. I think he's an extraordinary human being, extraordinary, you know, in terms of combat sports. He's unbelievable. And what was he saying immediately after the fight? I'll have Dillian White again. You know, immediately he's thinking, who's next? Oh, I know. I'll pick a guy who's beaten me twice, including when he flatlined me in the second fight with one left hook. No, I'll have him again. You know, it was the same with, you know, when he took on Tyson Fury. I mean, he wasn't going to win that fight, you know. But even then, you know, the defiance that he showed in that fight when he was getting the living hell beaten out of him. Oh, yeah, I'll go in with him a third time. He's beaten me twice. He beat me up the second time and stopped me on my feet. But, well, Don Charles pulled him out. But I don't mind, you know, I'll have a third fight. I mean, this guy is, whatever you think about him in terms of whether he should be still fighting or not, he's an extraordinary combat sportsman, and massive respect to Derek Chisora, a guy to whom defeat, I am beaten, that phrase just won't enter his head. It won't enter his head. And very few fighters can fight through exhaustion with that type of mentality. Very few, you know. But yeah, I could not give a few examples, but I'll tell you what, you give me examples of people that you feel share that quality. Leave them in the comments below, and tell me what you think of Derek. Is there a fighter who could fight through exhaustion with more refusal to be beaten than Derek Chisora? Takes you a long way, doesn't it? Not just in boxing, but in life, I'd imagine. Anyway, comments below as usual. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Do all that good stuff. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. Let's build the channel up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I'll get you later. Bye for now.